Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's going on? So Tank Davis is set up to have what I believe could be his best year so far in his career in 2023. I think he's set up to have a career best year. And I love his attitude and what I've been hearing from him lately. Just the energy that I've been getting from Gervonta Tank Davis. He seems like he's more focused. He seems like he's locked in. I know that he recently split from Mayweather Promotions and has a little bit more freedom on his hands. I know he's still being advised by Al Heyman, which is a great spot to be in, man. You have your own, GTD Promotions. You have that set up. And then you have a great businessman like Al Heyman handling your business and making sure, you get your fight set up and making sure that you're getting paid. So that's great. He's still in great hands, but seems like he have a little bit more freedom. Seems happier. Seems like he's genuinely interested in his craft and interested in competing, and just sounding a lot more confident in his interviews. And I'm really loving that on Tank Davis because, in my opinion, Tank Davis has always been one of the premier fighters in the sport of boxing. I think Tank Davis has every tool that you need as an elite fighter. I think he's one of the most complete fighters in the sport. If I sat here and just thought about weaknesses of Gervonta Tank Davis and things that he can improve on, things that I believe that he can't do as opposed to his counterparts, I would be really thinking hard to try to come up with something, because this guy is a complete fighter. He can really do it all when you look at God-given natural ability as far as hand speed, punching power, athleticism. When you look at those things, he got all of that on an elite level. Very fast fighter with one punch or with combinations, but especially with one shot, which could probably be more dangerous than anything, given the fact that he's an incredible counterpuncher. You make one false move, he can counter you with one shot, and he got one punch knockout power. That's dangerous, but he's also fast with combinations too when he does throw them. You know what I'm saying? Incredible punching power. He got good foot movement when he want to move. Great athleticism. You see him jump on the top rope and do a backflip in the ring with gloves on and land it perfectly after going 11 rounds. The guy is just incredibly talented. Got high ring IQ, very intelligent boxer. It's really nothing that Tank Davis can't do. His defense, in my opinion, is extremely underrated, because a lot of people just look at the fact that he's so offensively gifted. They look at the fact that he gets so many knockouts, or maybe he hasn't been in a ring with an incredibly offensively gifted fighter. However, when you pay attention to the small stuff with Tank Davis, you see the head movement. You know what I'm saying? You see the cat-like reflexes. You see the wherewithal to be able to, keep a certain range, to fight at the range that he's comfortable at, to be able to make subtle movements, to put himself in advantageous positions and kind of take things away from his opponent and strip him down and control the fights. Tank Davis has it all. So I love to see when all of those great abilities start to match up with the actual man and the person and the maturity of a fighter, and where they are in their career, their mindset. I love when those things start to come together. That's when a fighter is legitimately in their prime, and I think that's what we see Gervonta Tank Davis right now. Going into 2023, got a fight coming up on January 7th. Gonna be on pay-per-view, Showtime. A great card. Now, the matchups on the card ain't the best, but the fighters on the card is what make it incredible. You have hell of like top tier elite Black American fighters bringing like some of the best talent in the sport. You got Jaron Boots Ennis, He's fighting in a title eliminator for the IBF versus this guy from, I don't know where he's from. His name is Karen. Wow. You know what I'm saying? A dude named Karen something. You feel me? No disrespect, you know, but in my opinion, it's just another body. You got Demetrius Andrade. You know, he's fighting on a Showtime card, doing business with PBC. Now, I think it's going to be exciting to see him back in the ring versus, I think his name is Damon Edwards or something like that. Again, another body. These not great matchups, but the fact that we getting to see these fighters that we love watching on this card, which, of course, the main event is a pretty decent matchup. Gervonta Tank Davis is fighting against Luis Garcia. You have Rashidi Ellis on the card. So these are top tier guys that you're going to get to see on this night for your money. You know what I'm saying? Some good showcase fights. But then the main event is going to be a decent fight. You got Tank Davis fighting an undefeated fighter in Hector Luis Garcia, who is coming off some really good wins. He's was champion at 130. He's coming up to 135, trying his hand versus one of the best fighters in the sport. So I think that's going to be a good look for Tank Davis. It's a credible opponent. And, of course, he's the favorite. But I think this guy's going to give him something, you know, to be able to give him some looks. You know, so Tank Davis really going to have to be on his shit like he always is so he can get the victory. And and then he also has the fight lined up with Ryan Garcia now. And I'm still one of those type of people where in boxing, it's so much talk about this fight going to happen, that fight going to happen, this is signed and this, you know. But even though it seems promising, both sides have apparently agreed. Both sides are talking positively about the match and the business seems like it's going well. I still got to see it to believe it because that's just the position that boxing has put boxing fans in, where it's more talking than actual fighting going on. So if everything goes according to plan, Tank Davis, after he gets past Hector Luis Garcia, will be fighting Ryan Garcia, another undefeated fighter who is, in my opinion, still at a prospect level. He's not at a championship level, and that's at his own choice because he had an opportunity to fight Devin Haney for a world title. He turned it down. He's turned down multiple top tier opportunities to prove himself as a top fighter in the game and to get to the championship level, but he turned them all down. So I don't really know how to look at Ryan Garcia. We know that he's a talented fighter. We know he got power. We know he got ability. We know he got hand speed. We know that he's a popular guy on social media, but how good is he really? You know, is he a championship level fighter? He's still at prospect level to me. You dig what I'm saying? So, but I think nonetheless, it's a fight that we as fans want to see. We want to see these top young guys at lightweight start to fight each other. And even though that fight is going to be at a catchweight, I believe is 136, it's still a great fight. So, you know, I think this is an opportunity for Tank Davis to really stamp himself as a staple in the sport of boxing and really show everybody that he's for real and that he's not afraid to take on stiff competition and that he is looking forward to taking his game to the next level, and that's competing with the other champions, doing unification. I mean, he don't have a real, like an actual belt right now, but the way he's talking and moving now leads me to believe that he's considering going after championships now, actually unifying with other champions and fighting the best guys, getting in the ring with pound for pound guys, and just really like stamping that shit and letting motherfuckers know, like, bro, I'm everything that you believe that I could be. I'm really that and possibly more. So I'm really excited for Tank Davis this year. I think he, not this year, but going into 2023, I think he's going to have a phenomenal year, could possibly be up for Fighter of the Year. You know, I think there's going to be some really good matches made next year. You got Earl Spence that's, you know, could possibly have a Terrence Crawford fight, Keith Thurman fight. those 2 fights alone, that you win those, you win a Terrence Crawford fight, you fight of the year. You got Jermell Charlo defending his undisputed titles, jumping a year off in January, and then who knows what can happen later on. Jerron Boots Ennis might get an opportunity to make a splash. It's so many possibilities for next year, and I think Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be right there in the mix as a potential fighter of the year candidate. You know, if he can go out there and dominate Luis Garcia, Ryan Garcia, and then maybe even get a third fight on the back end. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. How do y'all feel about the lineup on that Gervonta Tank Davis card? What do you think about the scheduled fights for Gervonta Tank Davis? What is that gonna look like for him in 2023? Do you see the poise and the confidence and the focus? Do you see a different level of intensity from Gervonta Tank Davis now than maybe you did in the past couple of years? And are you expecting him to actually, like, you know, step up and go after the Lomachenkos and the Devin Haney's and the Shakur Stevensons and really let these motherfuckers know, like, you can't fuck with me? I always felt like, man, these dudes really can't fuck with Tank Davis, but it's time for him to start moving like that. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.